I'm sorry. So there's something error. Wait, what kind of stream? Okay. I'm gonna double check. Makes sense. Okay, now the voice. Okay, try again. I'm gonna use this one. Another headphone. Let's see which one has difference. Oh, welcome. Sorry, this stream got an error. So I'm gonna live stream again. Okay. 1, 2. Oh, Minasan, hello. Viewers, was my voice clear? Microphone on. What happens if I need to give up? Okay. Ah, ah, ah. Oh, 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 oh. Seems inefficient. I'll do it without microphone. Unfortunately. I thought my headset will catch my voice in clear things. Since we're here, do you have any questions? I just talk while watching videos. Oops, I'm gonna wipe all these videos. I'll just mysteries. Hang out while talking. I'm gonna experiment. I'm not the type to choose whenever you choose one video. No, let's test this one. 这。Maybe Japanese has different ideas. So they use their arts, their planning. I think they're so good at creating something that many countries did not anticipate it. Maybe South Korea. You know. It's more like Japanese has their own building ideas than many other countries. As just shouting again. Mm-hmm.
For America sometimes, but sometimes they're like, no. But if your passport is Filipino, brother, that's GG. Like getting a passport, like Filipino passport, getting a visa to America is so difficult, and I don't know why. It is low-key GG. So like that is what I say. When I say Southeast Asian experience, what I'm talking about. Not the I can travel anywhere I want because I have a Singaporean visa. Actually, if I'm thirsty, I'm just gonna open the tap water and fill up my water bottle. I'm not talking about, oh, it is so hot outside, so I'm going to drink from the public drinking fountain. Shut the fuck up with your public drinking fountain. Your vending machines that vend actual items. Even with the Malaysian passport, it's hard to get. Did you know, Sarah, did you know Malaysia has the top 3 to top 10 strongest passport in the world? What the fuck you mean by that? Actually, I did not know that. I found that out recently, and I went, fuck you. Yes, they fuck you.
Seriously.
Bad knowledge of water to the rest of the world.
Bad knowledge of water? Motherfucker! Jakarta is sinking! Bad knowledge of... At this point, I am shocked. I am so shocked. How come Indonesia have bad knowledge of water, brother? We're
shook.
water. One of our capital city is sinking. How the fuck had we not discovered drinkable tap water? You have to think about that. Like if it's like, oh, you live in the middle of Australia, right? Like literally in the middle of Australia, where it's so inhabitable that it's a desert. And it's like, oh, I don't have tap water that's drinkable. I get it, because you're in the middle of fuck-ass Australia. But Indonesia, bitch, everything is water. We built everything because there is flooding. It's either you are sinking or you're flooding. How comes you cannot discover drinkable tap water? Don't be fucking ridiculous. But at this point, we are going to have to drink the water because we are underwater. What the fuck? Yeah, I don't understand that. She says, surrounded by beautiful women, alone. Okay, first of all, bitch. We're not talking about the women. We're talking about the quality of water. When I say I'm thirsty, I don't mean it the other way, okay? Slow the fuck down, brother. Man, I hate it when I'm built to 70% women. You know what? If you go to Singapore and then you pump the water, you get drinking water. If you're in Indonesia and you pump the water, you get typhoid. If you go abroad and then you dig, you can find fossils, right? You can find rare materials. In Indo, if you dig, you find sinkhole. Like, what the fuck, man? You get you don't even have to dig to do that. You can just go to the random main road of Indonesia, right? If you want to see a sinkhole, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. You don't even have to look for a sinkhole. Motherfucker, you have to travel to the Grand Canyon to see the Grand Canyon. We just have to go outside to the main road, then you'll see the damn Grand Canyon on the damn road. That's how shit the road is. Every time you drive, it's like, oh, ready for a smooth experience? Get out of here. I get so rage baited, brother. I'm so rage baited. I cannot do Indonesia. Indo's so fucking ass. Fuck you. Fuck you, Singapore. Fuck you, Malaysia. Fuck your goddamn strong passports. I hate you. I'm so jealous. I'm so goddamn jealous. Hell no. At this point, if I want to have luxurious living, all I want to do is get married with someone that has a Singaporean passport. Then what the fuck?
Don't. If you get married, what will happen to your future life? Maybe you're gonna change your your schedule. Alright.
You mean your passport is strong enough to access anything so freely? Man, fuck you all. I look away, I shun you. The Filipino, I still get it though. Every time I tell a story to a Filipino person and I go, damn, Indonesia hellhole. They go, really? Then have you heard about this? And I realize, damn, yours is kind of ass. I thought mine is ass. The Philippines, every time I complain about Indonesia to someone from the Philippines, they remind me that I don't have the right to complain actually, and I should shut the fuck up. They don't really tell you that, but they tell you a story and you're like, god damn, woof. It's like me going, oh my god, guys, I fell down a flight of stairs, and then someone from the Philippines go, yeah, but have you ever fallen from a cliff? And I'm like, fuck, I'm sorry. I'm gonna tell you something. Listen, hear this out, right? And tell me if I'm crazy or not. You need a visa to travel to a country, but in order to get the visa, you need to show them that you already have a ticket for the flight and also where you are staying at the trip. Sometimes you don't need a ticket. You just need to show them where you are going to stay in that specific country. You can't just tell them this is the hotel I'm planning to stay. You have to show them a booking, like a proof of booking that you have booked this hotel and you are staying in that hotel, right? And then sometimes you need to show them that you need to have a ticket of the flight, not because there's proof that you're going, it's proof that your ass is coming back. So you need to show them proof that you are going and coming back, and also that you have booked the hotel. And now, once you've given that, there is a chance your visa will get denied. What do you do if your visa gets denied? Well, you can't travel. So if, let's say, your visa gets denied and you cannot refund your flight or hotel, then GG's. Literally GG's. There's nothing else you can do. It's fucking stupid.
Did you try not to be Indonesian?
Oh, wow, that's nice.
That was kind of crazy. I will say earthquakes do happen more often.
こんにちは、斉藤直樹です。今回はですね、初心者やりがち、いくら書いても上達しない練習法ということで、僕は立場上よくね、どうやったら上達しますかっていうことを聞かれることが多いんですけど、上達法や対処法のアドバイスって、その人の段階によってそれぞれ違うので、僕はまずね、あなたの絵を先に見せてくださいって言うんですよね。で、
Fincher. Fincher. Yeah, it's me, Colleen. Colleen's Manga Rex of YouTube. You know what? Ring up Aaron Sorkin while you're at it. You know that next social network you were looking for? Well, listen to this.
I'm Stu Levy, founder of Tokyo Pop. Yoroshiku. For many years, I've been bringing Japanese pop culture to America. And now I've decided to take a journey across this land to search for otaku culture.
There's nothing that kills a company more than the bloated ego of a businessman. We see this time and again where corporate greed mixed with the inflated hubris of man ruins whatever is decent. Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, and Mark Zuckerberg don't just run their massive tech businesses, they also posit themselves as the faces of them. They desire to not just be billionaires, but also have the fame, recognition, and celebrity on top of it. Those are massive companies, though. A niche industry like anime and manga would never be able to breed a similar deification of the self. These are just little guys that are fans like you and me. But where there's fame and success, you're bound to find people who are enticed by what it has to offer. Enter Stu Levy, the founder of the once massive Japanese pop culture related company Tokyo Pop. A company that every year found Stu sticking his head ever so slowly up his own ass that he could barely operate the company anymore. This once inescapable manga giant has now since receded to the corners of our minds, only to be remembered when you find an overflowing
Okay.
shelf of their old titles and a half-price books. With how much Tokyo Pop dominated the manga industry in the 90s and 2000s, its downfall is one for the books. It had entirely changed how manga was sold in America, that everything done the way it is now is because of Tokyo Pop. They made manga sold in bookstores cool, which in turn brought the new consumer of teen girls to comics. Unflipped manga, the $10 volume. Even the success of Sailor Moon, Fruits Basket, and Shoujo overall is thanks in part to them.
Hello.
Due to this, it'd be the
I'm just
understatement
watching.
of the century if you were to say that Levy isn't enemy number one in the manga community now. There is enough reason.
To be honest, I didn't know. Oh, let's see. I didn't know that I'll be invited from Okamishiro's channel on her night stream. I thought on DM when she wants me to show her about my avatar, and just thought, oh, they're just using my references for their own character. But as soon as I enter her stream at 2 a.m. if I remember, 2 a.m. I was mistaken. I thought they're gonna use my references for their own project. For her project or something. But now I'll be cautious and watch her streams. At 12 o'clock a.m. If I saw the clock at 11:40, I'll be ready there and search her name. Good morning to you, but here it's good afternoon. No, it's 7 o'clock p.m. Wait, 7 o'clock. Okay, here, yes. I talked to her about my problems. Oh, I see. Okay, during my vocal practice, I was practicing it like this. Oh. And I'm including facial exercises, so it's impossible to show you. Wait. I was like this. I look like a motorboat. Oh, you're right. It does sound like a motorboat. And as for tongue twisters. Peter Piper, pick up peppers. Peter Piper, pick up peppers. She sells by the seashore. She sells by the seashore. She sells seashells by the seashore. Good sentence. Hold on. You think so? Okay, here we go. Peter Piper, pick up peppers. Peter Piper, pick up peppers. Peter Piper, pick up peppers. Peter Piper, Pickers. She's just them. I can't do anything more. Hold on a minute. I'm using Komosu. Komosu. Here. Ah, no, no, ne, 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 ni, 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 no, 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 no. Ba, 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 beep, 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 ba, 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 ba. That's it. I'm using this whistle called Komosu. Komosu. Whenever I get anxious or my throat gets so tense, I think I'm gonna use this during night swim to calm down my whole heart, my tone, my mind, and everything. Just in case. The Komosu I bought were from Temu. It's not bamboo. It's just metal thing. And I bought this whistle from a set on Temu. Okay. This whistle with iron silver thing can be used for strengthening my my diagram. Anyway, and the food is ready. So let's watch well let's
century,
watch
it's hard
my
to say that Levy isn't
watching
enemy
it.
number one in the manga community now. There is enough reasons to count on two hands.
What? No, I'm not very good at ASMR. These 2 whistles is only for vocal practice. Just in case, I'm using them for every day. Now I'm waiting for voice dampener. I'm using it for to let up all my voice, to be confident. After all, I'm focusing on confidence on my throat and my tone. And my mouth seems to be holding a lot. And I'm very self-conscious. My voice dampener I've purchased was $26. The labels of the same models has different prices, and then their labels is very confusing. I don't know what to choose, but I'm focusing on voice acting rather than singing. I don't know the differences. No, I'm not ASMR. I'm not doing that. My voice looks like a gavel. Hold on. No. I'm different from Iron Mouse and Camilo. I'm not doing that to increase my pitch. Streaming setup. I'm using my phone and my laptop. I'm not using microphone. Anyway, let's watch the video.
Even going all the way before Tokyo Pop was even called Tokyo Pop, Levy was the puppet master of his own disaster. The guy couldn't seem to get out of his own way to run a proper company, even if he did fundamentally change manga distribution as we know it. And because of that, at times, it feels like he kind of just accidentally stumbled into the fortune he came across. There is a lot of good that Levy introduced in his time as the CEO of Tokyo Pop, but there's also a lot of bad. If he is going
Yeah, it looks better. Coincidentally, Okami Shiro and I had similar problem when using background music on my stream when using laptop. So I got a lot lagging. We both don't know what caused my stream to lag. I was like, oh, what a coincidence. Or something like, eh? Is that so? I was shocked. Me too. How should I put it? It seems like fate has been tricking me. And as for the accent, I seem to be struggling because nervousness and anxiety, and I won't let all my voice let out. In other words, I'm not confident verbally. iPhone 14 Pro. Hold on. And the camera seems to be to be two and one flashlight. And my iPhone case were worn out, so I'm gonna buy a new iPhone case. As I'm choosing AliExpress to buy a new iPhone case. And as for psychological problems, I'm watching many psychology. If any of these things were related to me, if I found this kind of problem or one of these problems, I'm gonna make a plan. Because if my psychological problem, if I cannot draw because of my psychological damage or instability, I'm going to focus on myself, on my psychological problems first. And find better ways to improve. Okay. Hold on. The iPhone. Tell me, new iPhone. Which one? Can you suggest, the name of the video? After all, I'm using your suggestions and then watch my eyes. Yeah, of course, it's natural. It's due to materials, maintenance, or how many days it has been done. I mean, look at how iPhone
Think about the sleek, powerful device you use every day.
maybe they are from official. These companies are really competition. Which one's better? It's no different from GPU thing. PS gaming consoles or something.
Did you know that it takes around 34?
Here. Imagine.
Did you know there is a small object no larger than the palm of your hand, yet it quietly consumes more than 1/3 of your lifetime? Not gold, not luxury items, but the very iPhone you are holding right now. Behind its minimal...
Huh? Just use all of them. Maybe if you want to live stream. But but selling them on junkyard is very difficult, and it will cost expensively. Look at how each part of the chips inside microphone. Yeah, that's right. But there is slight differences between each phone from different companies. I mean, if you want to become a VTuber and use Streamlabs, I think Android is a better choice. But if you're doing as in real life streamer, just use iPhone.
exterior lies an incredibly complex production journey. From extracting bauxite to produce the aluminum frame, to manufacturing the screen in a space-grade cleanroom, every single iPhone must go through hundreds of precise and sophisticated steps before it finally rests in your hand.
Take a look on how machines will take to repair them. Too much machines longer longer finish time.
In today's video, we will take you from A to Z through the entire iPhone manufacturing process. Join us as we uncover the secrets behind the iPhone you use every day and discover why its level of craftsmanship has earned admiration from people all around the world. When it comes to smartphones, one name inevitably stands out: Apple, the technology titan that has transformed the world with the iPhone. Since its debut in 2007, the iPhone has not only redefined the smartphone industry, but also generated immense economic value. Today, the iPhone accounts for more than 50% of Apple's revenue, making it the highest grossing consumer product on the planet. Before reaching your hands, every single iPhone must survive over 800 rigorous tests. A journey in which a failure at any step results in the device being immediately removed from the production line as if it had never existed. The iPhone is more than just a phone. It is an icon that has sparked debates worldwide for over a decade. Some say it is expensive, others call it unreal, yet no one can deny that this tiny device embodies prestige, design sensibility, and even the lifestyle of its owner. At the bauxite mine, the extraction process begins. To break through the hard layers of ore, engineers perform controlled drilling and blasting, releasing the bauxite from the parent rock. Massive excavators and haul trucks move continuously, digging and transporting the ore from the surface layer.
See? This is exactly why it's so expensive. We don't want, they don't want, too much manufacture. They just, lower the speed of, production. So that, and these ores will be distributed in different areas, just as construction buildings. Homemade technology, I think it's all sorts. That's why taxes exist to preserve resources. Okay, I'm gonna read. Okay. Alpha story. Okay, Oppo and Vivo has a speed process to finish the product, and I think it's the materials that was inside were finished. It can be shortened the processing time. I think Samsung's purchase from different locations rather than purchase the same infrastructure or of these ores of the same location. Maybe it's coming from Southeast Asia rather than Western. You have to separate different ores separately. Best cameras, I think it's the first generation. We haven't tested, but the other companies using Sony's references to improve their new products or create new products. It's no different from art. Oppo Ultra. You mean this one? X9? Okay. Sony. It's always complicated. The more complicated, the more it became futuristic. The first generation of phones were so simple and has less features, so it can be easily bought them by the customers.
Down to the collection site. The ore is then conveyed along long belts through high-capacity crushing systems, where it is sorted and separated from impurities. Each fragment of bauxite is thoroughly washed, purified, and prepared for the next stage in the aluminum production journey, where heat, chemicals, and electrical energy will transform the raw mineral into pure metal, ready to be reborn as the aluminum frame of modern iPhones. Once it leaves the mine, the bauxite energy will transform the raw mineral into pure metal, ready to be reborn as the aluminum frame of modern iPhones. Once it leaves the mine, the bauxite enters the processing plant, where high temperatures and intense pressures awaken the metallic potential hidden deep within the earth. In a caustic solution, the ore dissolves, leaving behind alumina, a pure snow-white powder. Yet this is only the beginning. The alumina is melted in massive electric currents of thousands of amperes, separating oxygen and generating pure aluminum, a lightweight, bright, and durable metal. From the first droplets of molten aluminum, flawless alloy sheets are produced. Ready to move on to the next phase, forming the iPhone's body, where raw materials are transformed into the foundation of droplets of molten aluminum. Flawless alloy sheets are produced. Ready to move on to the next phase, forming the iPhone's body, where raw materials are transformed into the foundation of advanced technology. When molten aluminum solidifies into the first sheets of alloy, they are ready to enter the process of shaping the iPhone frame. Here, high-speed milling machines carve out every minute detail with precision down to the thousandth of a millimeter, producing iPhone frames with absolute accuracy. As the milling cutters carve and shape the aluminum frames, an enormous amount of heat is generated, which could potentially deform the material or dull the cutting tools. For this reason, water or specially formulated cooling solutions are continuously sprayed throughout the machining process to maintain stability and precision. Once the backbone has been mechanically shaped, the process moves into an entirely different realm, a world of ultra-pure materials and nanotechnology. After the chip design is finalized, the production of the processor, the device's brain, officially begins. In this stage, absolute precision is critical. Even a single speck of dust or a deviation of a few micrometers is enough to render the entire component useless. Within high-level cleanrooms, lithography machines worth hundreds of millions of dollars use ultraviolet light to etch ultra-thin circuit layers onto the surface of silicon wafers, creating billions of transistors on an area no larger than a fingernail.
Wait, don't. That's be risky. We don't know, everything on how a phone is made. Maybe, models of other phones were failures. That's why they abandon each other phone models that doesn't seem to work. So they throw away. And that's how latest iPhones from 2015 up to now still working. You need a customer's trust and convenience. Hold on.
The Nothing Phone 3 was, without a doubt, one of the most divisive, most polarizing, and I'd argue one of the most overhated smartphones of 2025. And don't get me wrong, there was
Okay. Mm-hmm.
good reason for it because there was so much controversy at the time. We had that big story where people discovered that Nothing was accidentally using stock images for the Nothing Phone 3 camera samples. A lot of people hated the removal of the glyph lighting in exchange for the dot matrix display. People absolutely did not like the $799 flagship price for a phone that was using a sub-flagship chip in the Snapdragon 8S Gen 4, and many people felt the revised design with the asymmetric camera layout ruined the clean aesthetic that Nothing was previously known for. But I do have to say, as someone that actually continued to use this phone despite all the hate, it's honestly been one of my favorite smartphone experiences of 2025, no questions asked. If you've been keeping track of smartphone trends in 2025, you can probably fully relate to this. Smartphones have 100% reached peak boredom. If you look at the market right now, it feels like every manufacturer is just remixing the same design elements over and over again. Lately, we did get something relatively new and interesting with the ultra-thin Galaxy S25 Edge and the iPhone Air, which really haven't taken off if you want to believe the recent reporting as of late. Meanwhile, every other smartphone lineup has settled into this comfortable, boring rhythm of identical glass slabs with boxy shapes and rounded corners, while at the same time reusing 99% of the same look that we've seen over and over again for the past few years. And that's exactly why the Nothing Phone 3 feels like such a refreshing device to use in the day-to-day. Based on what we've seen for all the phones released in 2025, I can easily tell you the Nothing Phone 3 still feels like it has genuine character. I mean, look at this thing for yourself and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. The longer you look, the more details should stick out.
I mean, you cannot help it. Look at the machine. Look at the limit of the machine. You cannot create different things. Instead, creating same shades. You saw how machines put chips there. That's the repetition process. If they allow different shades, different design, it will cause the machine to go overheat and cannot perform in repetition. And or something like imagine if you replace different robots, different machines in different for example iPhone as a machine, but if you want create a phone with different shape, how are you supposed to program these machines in different designs? rectangle seems to be easy, but different shapes is not very easy. And for flip phones, no, it's not. I think that's what I think. But why processing is very long. Just imagine on how Samsung, Apple, in other phone countries have their own manufacturers. It's impossible to blend two companies in one phone, so it cannot be helped. You cannot change the machines. So that's all.
Like all the lines, bumps, dots, and screws.
Deviation of a few micrometers is enough to render the entire component useless.
Here.
In this stage, absolute precision is critical. Even a single speck of dust or a deviation of a few micrometers is enough to render the entire component useless.
Here. This is very created by this one. How are you supposed to change the machines? Or for the sake of an entirely new phone, but different from many phones.
Within high-level clean rooms, lithography machines worth hundreds of millions of dollars
Millions of dollars here?
to etch
See?
ultra-thin circuit layers onto the surface of silicon wafers, creating billions of transistors on an area no larger than a fingernail. To ensure the iPhone operates reliably, the battery is an indispensable component. In Shenzhen, China, the Pisen production lines manufacture thousands of batteries every day with precision comparable to chip production. The process begins with two thin metal strips, aluminum and copper, coated with lithium cobalt oxide and graphite, then fed through a long furnace with multiple temperature zones in a completely dust-free clean room. During the battery pressing stage, the plates, already filled with electrolyte solution, are placed on a heated platform. A hydraulic press descends with pressure calibrated to the Newton, distributing the electrolyte evenly and compressing the electrode layers. Even a small deviation can cause the battery to swell, degrade prematurely, or
See?
explode. Before leaving the
That's why
factory,
it costs
each
much.
battery undergoes a Hell test. Thermal shock chambers.
The reason why iPhones were expensive because of conditions. If any of the components were failed or explode, just like the battery, imagine what will happen. It will affect the customers. That's why I cannot question why they are designed this way. They are so careful.
Cycle the cells between 20 degree and 80 degree, followed by dozens of continuous charge-discharge cycles to detect voltage drops, swelling, or increases in internal resistance. Only batteries that survive all these rigorous tests are labeled, packaged, and released, ensuring safe and stable operation for many years. If the battery serves as the power source, then the main display is the surface of extreme precision, where even the slightest deviation of just a few microns is enough to render a component unusable. The journey begins with raw glass panels immersed in chemical baths where high-speed spinning discs apply a uniform coating, which may serve as anti-glare, fingerprint-resistant, or hardness-enhancing layers. The rotation speed and solution viscosity are carefully controlled to ensure the coating is applied with micron-level precision. After coating, the glass panels pass through a multi-chamber washing system using different cleaning solutions ranging from ultra-pure deionized water to ion-removing agents and ultrasonic baths. This process eliminates dust, impurities, and any excess coating. A single remaining particle is enough to discard the entire panel. Once the surface is perfectly clean, the glass is dried using hot air streams and then transferred to CNC or laser cutting machines. Robots precisely align each panel in fixed positions, and high-speed cutting blades shape features such as 2.5D curved edges, earpiece holes, camera placements, and sensor openings. Any deviation of merely 0.05 millimeters results in immediate rejection of the product.
Yep, rejection of the product.
Once all components have been fully prepared, the assembly line enters its most critical phase, a stage in which even the slightest error can lead to severe consequences, ranging from a faulty screen,
Consequences will cost millions of dollars. Imagine that. Or
circuits to the risk of battery failure or explosion. At this point, absolute precision becomes a matter of survival. The process begins with the placement of the main circuit board, which houses the CPU and memory, into the device chassis with micron-level accuracy. The circuit board must be perfectly secured to ensure seamless connections with other components without any deviation. Once the board is stabilized, the display is mounted using vacuum suction technology, which holds the screen firmly in place while preventing any dust from entering. Immediately afterward, ultra-fine data cables connecting the display, sensors, and circuitry are attached by robots, guaranteeing that each electronic connection is stable, secure, and perfectly aligned. Next comes the installation of the battery, the camera module, and the vibration motor, components that are highly sensitive to their surrounding environment. A single speck of dust entering the camera can create bright spots in images, completely compromising the photographic experience. This entire procedure is performed entirely by robots, from positioning components and soldering connections to inspecting circuits and final calibrations. These robots operate with precision down to thousandths of a millimeter, ensuring every component is exactly in place, minimizing risks to the lowest possible level, and maintaining the highest standards before the device leaves the production line. Observing the entire assembly line, it becomes clear that every iPhone is the result of a delicate orchestration between mechanics, automation, and quality control. Every action, every connection matters, and even the smallest error can render the entire device inoperative. This is a testament to the meticulous craftsmanship, scientific rigor, and cutting-edge technology that lies behind the smartphones we use every day. Once the physical form of the iPhone is fully complete, it enters the quality control stage, the critical phase that determines whether the product meets the high standards required to reach the hands of users. At this stage, technology and human oversight work in tandem to detect every flaw, no matter how small. Automated robotic systems perform a series of technical inspections, from touchscreen sensitivity, camera performance, and audio output, to network connectivity and processing efficiency. Even a single deviation beyond the allowed threshold results in the device being immediately removed from the production line. In addition, each iPhone must undergo drop tests, during which the device is released from various heights onto different surfaces to simulate real-world impacts. High-speed sensors and cameras record every effect, verifying whether the screen, frame, and internal components can withstand the forces of impact without damage. Following that, the devices undergo water and dust resistance testing according to IP standards. Each unit is exposed to mist, immersion, or direct water sprays to ensure the enclosure effectively prevents the intrusion of liquids and dust. Only those iPhones that successfully pass all of these rigorous tests are allowed to move on to the packaging and shipping stage, guaranteeing that the user receives a flawless, durable, and safe product. Once an iPhone has successfully passed hundreds of rigorous tests, it enters a stage that may appear simple at first glance, yet is astonishingly sophisticated: packaging. Each pallet containing hundreds of iPhones must have its weight perfectly balanced to prevent tilting or shifting during air transport. This meticulous attention to detail is precisely why iPhones rarely arrive damaged in the hands of users. Every shipment is packed with the precision and care of a military-grade cargo operation. And as the iPhone leaves the factory, the journey of another essential accessory begins: the phone case. If the iPhone represents cutting-edge technology, the case serves as its silent armor, providing protection against scratches, drops, and the wear of daily life. The process begins with raw polymer pellets, TPU, PC, or silicone, which are carefully measured and fed into high-precision injection molding machines. These machines heat the material to the exact temperature needed for perfect flow, then inject it into metal molds that define the case's exact shape. This initial form then enters a series of meticulous finishing steps. Trimming removes any leftover flash, edges are rounded, and the case is in the case's exact shape. This initial
Let me guess. It was China? Maybe Beijing is a part of China. Due to a CCP thing. If it does, it makes sense. I saw in Taiwan airport doesn't have people. Or the whole place of Taiwan has been empty. That must be really bad. The airport will be affected because due to disagreements between Taiwan and China. Because Taiwan doesn't want to be a part of China. Because Taiwan may be a part of individual country. So the connection from airlines will be affected. If there's no trust, airport will be affected. What will happen if there is a world war? Imagine the airport. You cannot go to airports anymore, and it will make the same fate as the Taiwan. And sign agreement between countries before creating airlines. Yes. Yes, that is the most affected. If there's no workers, there will be no there will be no phones to be manufactured. There is some different phones. China is so stubborn that they don't even let manufactured phones to like to put Western thing. To be honest, North Korea and China are stubborn fools. Ruler without a human heart. They are the examples if a king is cruel. They treat them as puppets. Their pride is in the country is their greatest downfall. Someday, no. You cannot make them cheaper because there is a condition. If there is a condition, it will be expensive. If there is not, it will be cheaper. Any mistakes will affect the manufacture and shipping from across all countries. It's not very easy. Look at how those ores, where they are chemicals. And humans cannot manufacture them in all processes. It will infect many workers, and it will decrease population of workers in industry. Look out the mist when the machines process these materials. There will be heat, dust, or other chemicals. And as for phone test, like make sure it has resistance. It will be included there. Conditions, expensive. small conditions, long conditions, expensive, and small conditions, cheaper. Because it must meet the condition or requirements, and then meet the customers' expectations, just like all of us. Half price. I think it must do to discount or the model get too much unsold. Orders will be unsold model. That's why he had half price. Yeah. They are the old generations. Older generations are so easy to manufacture than latest phone, latest generations. Bye. Have a great day. Bye, konnichiwa, bicycle.
Form then enters a series of meticulous finishing steps. Trimming removes any leftover flash, edges are rounded, and the case is polished to create smooth curves that hug the contours of the camera module, buttons, and speaker openings.
I think festival offer will be similar to Black Friday. If people will be able to buy those products, those boxes of unsold or unused models or items on phones. Sorry. What I mean is, they use as visible offers so that the storage of unused phones will be slightly decreased, while it will affect for other people to buy a phone they never needed.
Every detail is sculpted to ensure that the case will fit flawlessly onto the iPhone, providing both protection and ergonomic comfort. Once the physical shape is perfected, the surface of the case is transformed with UV printing, color coding, or decorative patterns. Each layer of ink is applied in a delicate mist, then cured under ultraviolet light to create a durable, fade-resistant surface. For transparent cases, an additional anti-yellowing coating is applied, preserving clarity for years of use. From the first molten pellet to the final polished, printed surface, every case is a testament to precision engineering, meticulous craftsmanship, and the seamless integration of technology and design, ensuring that the iPhone is shielded in style while maintaining its aesthetic perfection. For more than 10 years, the global smartphone market has been a relentless arena of technological competition, with the iPhone standing firmly at its center. Every rival, from Samsung and Google to Xiaomi, has continuously tried to challenge Apple's dominance, seeking to claim the crown for themselves. Yet despite the intense pressure, the iPhone has preserved its unique position, built on a seamless ecosystem, industry-leading chips, and manufacturing standards so precise that even a single micron matters. Apple's devices are more than just tools. They are symbols of craftsmanship and loyalty. Users don't just buy an iPhone. They invest in a philosophy, a lifestyle of simplicity, elegance, and precision. Meanwhile, competitors push forward with open systems and unlimited customization, embracing a different vision of what a smartphone can be. This clash of philosophies, freedom versus refinement, is what fuels one of the most fascinating rivalries in the modern era of technology, shaping the devices.
Red magic.
Millions of people rely on every day. From raw aluminum sheets to processors containing billions of transistors, from ultra-thin displays to batteries monitored, down to the milliamp, every single iPhone undergoes hundreds of stages of fabrication, inspection, and assembly with near-perfect precision. Behind the sleek exterior that rests in your hand lies an enormous technological ecosystem, where robots, clean rooms, and exacting standards operate continuously to produce a device that is stable, durable, and meticulously refined in every detail. And that is the complete journey of an iPhone, from raw materials to the finished product. Which iPhone model are you using right now? And what feature do you find the most impressive? Leave a comment below to share your thoughts and experiences. And don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to...
Every device you own, every electronic object in your house has chips in it, sometimes lots of them. All of those chips start in a place like this. For decades, most of the world's chips have been made overseas. But as tensions with China have risen, it has become clear just how dependent U.S. companies are on foreign factories, pushing Washington to speed up its effort to bring critical supply chains back home.
Today, Apple has announced.
Oh, Kisan, welcome. Sorry for not live streaming. I'm busy vocal training. Oh, I'm busy on vocal training and create new plan. So I'm being consistent of vocal training than drawing. It's okay. What we're talking about is on how phones were made. This Farhan here was suggesting about phones, and I'm just showing on how phones are made.
$600 billion, just with a B, in the United.
And how long and how expensive it was, because due to long-term conditions. Because I know how it works and my design and my different design. Entirely completely different design won't work.
United States over the next 4 years.
I wanted to see what this reshoring looks like on the ground and get a sense of how far we still have to go. find out, I suited up. Definitely the most intense bunny suit of the trip. Joined the world's largest buyer of chips, Apple, and several of its executives on an exclusive tour of its partners' facilities across the desert Southwest.
That is a condition. It's a factory.
My first stop is the start of the supply chain. This Global Wafers facility, which opened last year, produces silicon wafers, which are the foundation for what will eventually become iPhone chips.
Silicon is basically formed from sand. There's an ancient gift to the semiconductor.
To be honest, I'm interested about storage and the compatibility of VTooling. If each phones are not compatible for my VTooling career, I won't need them. Let's see. Favorite studio, yes. Favorite studio is very important for me to look out of each models. Many of them are iPad Pro, iPad Air. There's so many lists. If you look up at the App Store and search favorite studio, you'll see mine. And it's difficult for me to decide. You need to look out for their capabilities rather than designs. And I don't care about designs. I care about if they really are useful or not. I already buy Android phone from Temu, but unfortunately its capability wasn't very good when I install Prism Live Studio and switch to 2D avatar or 3D avatar, so it doesn't work. I have to be careful of which phone I should pick. I mustn't make the same mistakes as when I that I buy Android phone on Temu. Just be careful. I must be careful and never be careless. If you purchase a phone and then you find out that it doesn't suit my expectations, I think it's on me. No, my Android phone is useless. No, it's not good. It's old model. And I wanted to know which Android phone, and I wanted to know which Android phones that many VTubers has been using. I want to know their Android models. Because the models were different or very latest. Inspect each models if they are good for VTubing. It's essential. Wait, school? Oh, I forgot her name. Sorry. As for Streamlabs, wait. Not Streamlabs, what was it? Just search. Here. Streamlabs. On iPhone, there's no VTuber option when using iPhone, except on Android phone. I mistakenly thought my old Android phone is compatible for live streaming. No. Eh? Whose body? Was it Ixon? Or was it somebody else? Okay.
Industry in the mountains of North Carolina, where there's some of the world's most pure sand. A lot of the silicon is sourced from there.
The world's most pure silicon. This is heavy. To transform raw silicon into a wafer, it must first be melted down in this 35-foot tall machine.
So what you have in here is what they call a silicon crown, and it's spinning ever so slightly counterclockwise. It's an amber color because it's almost molten. It's 2,500 degrees Fahrenheit in there. They're growing silicon.
The result is this 6-foot-long torpedo shape.
Tell me the name of his channel rather than real life name. I will respect your friend's private life.
Ingot that weighs hundreds of pounds. I'm guessing this is what comes out of that machine?
That's right. You're looking at the end of a finished ingot here. It's cooled off. All of its bulk properties are solidified. This thing is ready to go.
The ingot gets sliced into wafers, then they're polished and boxed up. You're doing 10,000 wafers how often?
Today we're doing 10,000 a month. We're just starting.
Look at
Some of these
that.
processes, even when you put them in line, can take months and months to get the quality.
It really is a condition.
And that's just the nature of the demanding specs that we're being asked to achieve.
Who's the most demanding customer you have?
Apple.
Every device Apple makes relies on chips. iPhones have more than 30, some that are made of multiple chips themselves. Many chips, and nearly all of the most advanced ones, are made in Taiwan, which China has threatened to annex. Concentrating chip supplies on an island that could be invaded, or face steep US tariffs, or get hit by a major earthquake is a big risk to Apple's business. Much of the company's supply chain relies on partners like Global Wafers, itself a Taiwan-based company. But Apple is a large customer, so it has a lot of leverage to push suppliers to make more products in the US. Apple's not building this factory, right?
We're not building the factory, but we are driving our suppliers to use this factory. And so one of the things that we can do to help Global Wafers is have our engineers qualify the wafers that are coming out of their
That's
production
right.
line so that our foundry partners then can purchase from them. If we didn't qualify that and spend that time, and it's very intense work, they wouldn't be able to use it to make chips for us. So we can drive them to
That's
use
a condition.
components like these wafers.
By
No
qualifying,
wonder.
Tom means that the quality of these wafers needs to be verified before they can be turned into chips.
Uh-huh.
That process is going much faster, Global Wafers told me, because of Apple's pressure on chip makers to use these wafers. Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing, or TSMC, is the world's largest chip maker. It takes blank silicon wafers and turns them into chips. It's the next stop in Apple's supply chain. Stretching over 1,100 acres, TSMC's Arizona site is one of the largest construction projects in the U.S. and is projected to cost $165 billion.
Oh. Bye. Good luck at work.
This facility
Ixon.
is crucial to Apple's reshoring efforts, but it's still a work in progress. Only one fabrication plant is currently making chips on this site, while 2 more fabs are under construction here. The vast majority of TSMC's production still takes place in Taiwan, where it has 4 facilities that pump out more than 100,000 chip wafers per month. The Arizona facility may not reach similar volumes for a decade or more. The complexity involved in scaling up manufacturing also means that the chips made here in Arizona are still a generation behind chips made in Taiwan. You're already doing this in Taiwan. Why can't we just, do
Plop
this?
it in and
plop it in and do it by year end? Why does it take so much time?
It's really complicated in terms of the structures because remember what we're building is atom level. It really requires a complex infrastructure. It requires a complex equipment set that you can't just plop in from anywhere.
When we first went to Global Wafers, we saw the creation of a blank wafer.
Right.
And then what we've done here is we've taken that wafer, put it in the incredibly sophisticated machines that cost hundreds of millions of dollars in that building to etch all of these tiny, tiny transistors, trillions of them probably across this whole wafer.
Yes.
Can I trade you?
Sure.
All right, let's be very careful. It's very light.
It's very light.
How much does one of these cost when it's done?
Tens of thousands of dollars.
So I can't wait for it.
No.
We couldn't see exactly how this wafer was made. TSMC doesn't allow filming inside its plant. It even covered our phone cameras as a precaution. But the machines inside the TSMC fab that patterned that wafer come from ASML, a Dutch company that operates a training facility just down the road in Phoenix.
Wow. The workers behind me are maintaining what is probably the most sophisticated machine ever built by man. It's inside these that chips are patterned to have billions of transistors.
ASML's extreme ultraviolet lithography machine works by shooting lasers into molten tin to create a wavelength of light that doesn't exist naturally on Earth. The light paints hundreds of chips onto wafers flying around at more than 20 Gs. Because chips can have dozens of layers, this process repeats over and over. What's more, transistors have to be placed with nanometer-level precision or the whole wafer can be ruined.
If you are building a chip fab, you need machines like this because this is where the magic happens.
These machines cost between $100 and $400 million each. Most go to Asia. Just 12% of ASML's sales last year were in the US, though that was up from 5% in 2021. Apple's supply chain ends at manufacturing facilities such as this Foxconn plant. Here, Apple devices are assembled, and chips are installed inside them. This is the first time cameras have been allowed inside. The AI servers made here contain Apple's most advanced chips that can't yet be made in the US. What are we looking at here? What are these workers doing?
They're installing some of the sub-assemblies here. There's multiple different sub-assemblies and the boards that come in, and
Okay.
they're all installed here at various stations.
And a lot of the workers here that Taiwan brings in who have the expertise you described can be transferred to American workers?
These are all local workers.
Okay.
Actually, they're all hired here locally. You'll see some workers from overseas, or some technicians rather, from overseas during the beginning of the setup, if needed.
Apple and Foxconn are also expanding this operation in Houston to include a new assembly plant. Oh wow, it keeps going for a while.
Yeah.
Look at that.
The other space was exactly like this in January last year.
We're very excited to tell you that later this year we will be beginning Mac Mini manufacturing right here in this space.
How many Mac Minis do you make a year?
We make thousands every week.
Will all Mac Mini production come here?
Over time, we want to scale Mac Mini here to serve our customers in this area.
Okay, so it's manufactured also in Asia today.
This here. No wonder. Working there requires experience. 2 years experience or so. Okay. Because conditions. That makes sense. Apparently so. This company has the most difficult. Okay. Has difficult construction. Creating machines. Okay.
And you'll move some of that production here and scale it over time.
Yes.
What would it take to be able to do iPhones in the United States?
Well, we're very focused on the things that we believe are critical for future innovation and things that will differentiate our products over time. And so that's what we're partnering and investing in here. And we're getting great support on that. You know, it's components, it's sub-assemblies, it's advanced silicon.
This isn't the first time Apple has added manufacturing operations in the US. In 2013, Apple started making a new Mac Pro desktop in Austin, Texas. But demand was soft, and by 2019, Apple planned to move Mac Pro production to Asia. But the company changed course, and Tim Cook toured the factory with President Trump, who falsely claimed that he'd opened the facility. After committing to keep it, Apple received tariff exemptions. A similar pattern played out this past August, when Apple made a big investment commitment and in return, won tariff relief. You do the Mac Pro in Austin.
Yes.
How many do you have there now, ballpark?
It's a much smaller operation. We're still doing exactly what we're doing at the beginning. It's just that the customer demand is not the same that it used to be. But remember, back then, we didn't have Mac Studio. We didn't have a Mac Mini with advanced silicon. And we have those capabilities now.
The Mac Mini is a bigger seller than the Mac Pro, and has grown in popularity because it is useful for running AI models. Even so, the Mini is still a small product for Apple. The company sells less than 1 million Mac Minis globally per year. By contrast, Apple sells around 240 million iPhones per year. Now, to be clear, as big as this warehouse seems, it is a drop in the bucket compared to the company's overall global manufacturing footprint. What I saw were really the very first steps Apple is taking in its effort to bring its chip supply chain stateside. It's a start, but the US has a long way to go to match Asia.
Oh, come on.
We're about to enter one of the most controlled factories on Earth. A place where a single wrong atom can ruin.
Apple has a long habit of removing things people love, waiting for the complaints to peak.
I'm gonna subscribe. This one.
Apple is worth $3 trillion.
Okay, this one. This one.
Xiaomi is the second largest.
This one.
This is the world's first mass-produced.
Oh, come on. Red magic. Pixels. Okay. I understand.
So that way, when you're gaming, you're making sure you're getting the max FPS storage and 16 gigabytes of RAM.
512 gigabytes. I see. 16 gigabytes. Well. That's it useful for night streaming. Bye. Good luck. Thank you for coming. See you.
Means you get an actually insane percentage of screen to body ratio. This
So sorry. My battery went to 0. Sorry for that. And also, thank you for watching. Oh, blue bug. First of all, we were watching, I'm watching, and how iPhone was made. And then this one, I'm gonna buy your iPad. My iPad is old now. And it's very bendy. Okay. I understand your view. I don't comment. I accidentally made my iPad bendable after I lying down on bed, and here it is. The cover, the part of the iPad has been opened. Okay. Oh, where is it? Where is it? Okay. A suggestion. Which phone model should I Should I buy when okay, favorites channel. Favorites channel. Okay, this one. Which phone model should I buy? There's so many phone models. And there's so many phone models on iPhone. I don't know which one to choose. And as for storage, I'll choose 1 TB or 2 TB because they are important for the stream. Okay.
That means you get an actually insane percentage of.
No, it's the model. There are many different, only latest generations. It'll be useful for video live stream.
Screen to body ratio. The screen to body ratio is like 95.3%, which is incredible.
Oh, done. Okay.
Difference. Now the two in just a little bit, but you're also going to notice around the back the Snapdragon 8 Elite. That's what this is powered by, specifically the leading version. It actually says the leading version on the little phone right there at the bottom.
Are you satisfied now? Are you satisfied now? New log? That's all I'm gonna show you. Are you there, vlog? I know you're watching or doing busy somewhere. I see. I think I will end the stream. After all, it's been let's see, 2 hours. Thank you for coming so late. I understand your situation. I was also late as well, doing Okami Yashiro's stream because they want here, Okami. Here. Here. This is the stream. I was late. She asked me that I'll come to her stream tomorrow. I just said, I'm not an idol. I'm just me. I'm not very good at singing. Yet I did my best. Designs, lores, personals, I'm not very good. I'm kinda stuck. So I asked her on DM. No. Before that, before I enter her stream, she said to me, okay, this one here. Hi, how are you? It's okay if I draw your Jimmy tomorrow. In my perspective, I thought she's gonna use my model for her new model, or use my model for references. Sure, we have her. And she did say to me that she's gonna swim. I'm not really active of participating swims. That's why I mistaken her intent or what she's thinking. So I sent her my voice, nose giggles, voice range and disking, voice personals, and asked her about what time she's gonna live stream. See, because I forgot. I guess I'm gonna subscribe her stream schedule. So that's all. Anyway, see ya. Bye bye. 皆さん、goodbye. And さよなら。